Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be testing out some new materials. The people at Phoenix Art kindly sent over a couple panels and something that I've been wanting to try for a long time, oil sticks. Oil sticks are a lot like oil pastels, but instead of being waxy and non-drying, it works like oil paint. It's really buttery and thick and can be thinned with solvents as well, so it's super flexible in the way you want to apply it. Now these are a little different because they are water soluble, which means it can be thinned with water instead of just oil mediums and solvents. It does say on the website that it can mix with oil mediums as well, but I think I'm just going to stick to mixing it with water this time. This pack of oil sticks came with a palette knife and a colorless blender. The 24 colors were a good variety that would be useful in most paintings. I personally had hoped for more bright greens and blues, but those are available in smaller sets, and those are less common in big packs like these. The panels were 16 by 20 inch anti-shrink art boards. This is a board with a canvas made from 100% recycled plastic mounted on a solid wood panel. Usually I don't like to paint on canvas. I prefer to paint on smooth panels with less tooth because the texture honestly annoys me. But since it is a larger piece and I'm planning on using thick layers of paint, hopefully this won't bother me quite as much. I taped the sides, and then I used a Michael Harding acrylic primer in Pizzoli Red Earth, which I think really became the saving grace of this piece. It gave everything the warm tone that I wanted instead of leaving bits of white peeking through the texture, which I think make things look a little bit unfinished. I decided to pick out colors that would go with warm tones, so yellows, oranges, reds, and purples were my main go-to. So I made a mistake to begin with. The sticks have an outer layer of skin that develops naturally as they oxidize, which can be removed by rubbing it on a surface, using a paper towel, or cutting it off with a palette knife or another tool. I didn't know this though, and didn't see the directions on the website, so this first attempt did not go my way. It reminded me of a crayon, and even after adding in some water, it left chunks that were kind of like dried glue. But after a few minutes of working away at it, I seemed to get through that weird wax skin layer, and it applied to the surface a lot smoother. I decided to start with the yellow for the spots that were going to be brightest in the piece, since I knew the white would mix with anything underneath it, and I wanted it to be super warm. A lot like paintbrushes, the sticks would pick up other colors that I had just been drawing on, so I had to remember to wipe them off before using them again on a different section. When I didn't remember though, it was pretty easy to scrape off the color with a palette knife. blender stick quite a bit to mix and blend colors on the canvas, and it worked pretty well. Another option could be to mix new colors on the side by cutting the sticks up and mixing them with the palette knife, but I kind of liked how you could see some of the different colors that had been used on the surface. Overall, I really enjoyed working with these oil sticks. It took a little to get used to them, but I understand how to use them more now. And I really like how loose and textured you can get with them. The size kind of requires you to let go a little and focus on the process and general shapes rather than overworking it and getting stuck in the details. Compared to other oil sticks I've seen, these also have a great price point if you're looking for an affordable option. Their 12 packs are $40 compared to other brands that I've seen that range from around $60 to $200 for the really fancy stuff. The artboard was also nice. I think the texture helped to grip the oil paint, but I did find myself getting frustrated with the uneven canvas texture, and I want to try these on a smoother panel next time for some crisper edges. That's just my personal preference though. I'd like to mess around with adding more water or solvents to these oil sticks in future paintings, but I was also totally fine using them without any solvents as well. I just had to press kind of hard to get a thicker application. Thanks so much for watching. I had a lot of fun with this one and am excited to get started on the next piece. Lots more to come.